Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Before we start, I wanted to thank everybody for the viewership on my JoJo content, and I would like to formally thank you guys for helping us reach 100 subscribers.
すごくベリッシモそれがすごく最高にいい酒もタバコもやってるようだなドラッグはやってるかい麻薬やってるならもっと君は最高にディモールといいんだがな
That elusive big video I have planned will be my tribute to celebrate our first milestone together. I am really excited for it, and I'm eager to see how it will turn out. So I once again had a poll take place in my community tab asking what video you guys would like to see me do next. I gave differing options that featured 2 discussion topics, a sequel to Phantom Blood PS2, and even a non-JoJo project entirely. The poll ended with both discussion topics tied at 50%. Therefore, I'll be doing both of them in my preferred order. Which brings me to today's video. Today, I'll be going over some of my favorite stands featured in the JoJo series across parts 3 to 6. As a quick disclaimer, I have not read all of Steel Ball Run or JoJolion, therefore I won't be including stands such as Soft and Wet or Tusk Act 4. I have read the first 5 chapters of the JoJo lands, but I will exclude those stands strictly due to the fact that Part 9 is still in its infancy stage, and the full extent of the currently introduced stands have not been fully explored. However, with the stands I will be discussing, expect heavy spoilers throughout this video. Therefore, if you haven't read parts 3 to 6, or watched their respective anime adaptations, I recommend checking those out before you continue this video. With that said, I would like to start things off with Stardust Crusaders, and what better way than kicking things off with Star Platinum itself. The design of the stand reminds me of the character direction the series had during Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency. Having near perfect precision, 20/20 vision, and being one of the fastest stands in the series to date, it's not hard to appreciate this stand. Let's not forget the other ability Star Platinum has, Time Stop. Overall, it's hard to hate Star Platinum. Some may not like how powerful the stand is right off the bat during Stardust Crusaders, but this is JoJo. We gotta have the protagonist actually pose a threat to the mysterious antagonists the show provides. Continuing with part 3, we're gonna talk about Hermit Purple. Not only does this stand belong to one of my favorite characters in the whole series, but the overall concept is simple, yet complex at the same time. Long vines with thorns allowing Joseph to swing like Spider-Man, yank enemies and objects, take spirit photos, and coolest of all, conducts Hamon. As a big fan of part 1 and 2, I love the concept of Hamon. I do understand why it was phased out from a storytelling perspective, so it is nice to see it's making its way back as an official return one last time in the form of a side ability to Hermit Purple. I've seen people throw shade to Hermit Purple's abilities, but people seem to underestimate the stand. It's the only reason the Joestar party can get a picture of Dio, thereby the only reason why Jotaro is able to use Star Platinum to sketch the fly in the first place. Hermit Purple is the first big step to defeating Dio, and it is very underappreciated in my eyes. Next, we have to talk about Silver Chariot. Its design is flawless and inspirational. So inspirational, in fact, that it has given me ideas on how to design a specific species in my new series I'm launching with Crosslust. But back with Silver Chariot, you can't go wrong with a rapier, and I'm a sucker for characters that specialize those swords. Its speed rivals Star Platinum and can create after images of itself to gain the upper hand on their opponent. Chariot's power is nothing to turn away at either, slicing through solid stone without breaking a sweat. Not to mention, the personality behind the stand helps elevate Silver Chariot on my personal list, with Polnareff being one of my favorite characters of the show. There is a bit of a theme here, I'll point out. Most of my favorite stands belong to some of my favorite characters. However, there are a few outliers. Which brings me to the next stand, Death 13. A stand that very well could wipe any team in the series simply by relying on the enemies either not having stands or not summoning their stands before they sleep. Being trapped inside of Death 13's world is a death sentence. Plain and simple. However, it is possible to escape from it by being woken up from outside of this world. Despite this, however, you lose all memories of the dream entirely once you exit it. Unless you're like Kakyoin and you manage to sneak your stand into the dream world. The design is a unique take on the universally known Grim Reaper look, sporting a masquerade clown design and a giant cloak that conceals the stand's lack of torso and legs, paired with a giant scythe. Death 13 is the perfect design to represent death in the JoJo series, which are the reasons why I love it so much. As for the baby, not so much. The fucking baby had fangs. So the last stand I'll cover in part 3 is probably one you didn't expect, but that is Anubis. It's a sweet katana that grants the user all the knowledge from previous users and opponents with one drawback. You basically lose all sense of self, essentially, as the stand takes over your mind completely, just so long as the sword is in your possession. You can still die, and you will most likely live the remainder of your life as the stand's puppet, dead from a fight Anubis got you into, or are separated from the sword entirely, returning control back to your mind, likely facing the consequences of your actions with Anubis. The messed up nature of this stand and the fight against Polnara, followed by the segment against Jotaro, is why this stand holds such a special place in my list. I imagine some of you guys are surprised I didn't place the world here at all. Truth be told, I'm not that big of a fan of the design, and the user outshines the stand entirely. When Dio uses Time Stop, it doesn't feel like he's using a stand to do it, but rather that he himself is the ability, or is using it himself. That is just my opinion on it, though. I think the trope of protagonist and antagonist having the same or similar powers can work if done correctly. It works here, but in terms of the stand itself, I'll stay just by my opinion. Kicking off stands from Diamond is Unbreakable, Crazy Diamond is kick-ass. It does somewhat resemble the world, but the color scheme works better here for Josuke. With speed, precision, and strength resembling Star Platinum, Crazy Diamond can also fix objects and people. However, depending on Josuke's mood, the repairs can be warped due to a lack of focus, as seen in the first time Josuke is shown using his stand. Crazy Diamond can fuse objects together, including people, as shown with Angelo. It's a great stand to have if you're more of a support class person that occasionally likes to provide a quick offensive. A great stand for a great character. Next up, the manga artist I relate too much to on good and bad levels. Heaven's Door is a busted stand, designed to look straight up like Rohan's Pink Dark Boy character, which essentially makes his stand an OC. It can turn any living being into books, which contain all facts of life regarding the individual, including stands if they have one. You can even use it on food, like when Rohan does in Thus Spoke Kashibe Rohan Episode 7, A Rainy Monday, where he wishes to determine when his chicken leg expires. Shit, I'd do that too if I had that power. What the fuck? Anything you write into the pages of a living being becomes facts and reality. Any living thing is on the table too. People, animals, bugs, plants, and, to a limited extent, the user himself. Removing a page makes the page permanent, but physically takes knowledge of what is on the page along with some of the weight of the target's body, such as Koichi when he first meets Rohan. The crazy potential Heaven's Door has, and its design keeping in line with the ability and origins of the stand itself, are why this stand is top 3 in my eyes. Now, I have to mention Pearl Jam. A stand you literally eat with a cooked meal to fix ailments inside your own body? Yeah. I would definitely have Pearl Jam any day of the week. It would probably inspire me to cook more and for others, honestly. Like, I already have a bad problem with not liking to cook. But if I had something like Pearl Jam, shit, man, I'd be cooking every day. Design-wise, it looks like a rabid mutant tomato fused with a pearl onion. I should mention that the quality of the ingredients better improve the effects of this stand. Each dish made with Pearl Jam is compatible with a specific ailment that the food is meant for, which could create a situation where someone like Okuyasu, or myself, can't handle spicy food, yet feels compelled to continue eating it as it's curing an ailment that is inside my body. One last note on the power of Pearl Jam. In Thus Spoke Kashibe Rohan Episode 6, Poaching Seashore, the user Tonio illegally harvests high-class abalones in an attempt to cure his lover's cancer. Once he feeds her a dish made with these high-class ingredients, she was fully healed and cancer-free. Now, I cannot think of a reason why Pearl Jam does not belong on my favorite list. The fact that you can use probably like hundreds of dollars worth of ingredients to cure fucking cancer? Holy shit. That... Mad respect to Tonio for that. And the final stand I want to talk about from part 4, everybody saw coming a mile away, it's Killer Queen. Everything from the name, the design, the user, and the ability is nothing short of phenomenal. Killer Queen is one of my favorite Queen songs next to Somebody to Love and Don't Stop Me Now. A humanoid pink cat wearing badges and a belt with some interesting looking design choices for the gloves. And the fact that it belongs to a character such as Yoshikage Kira, along with its ability to turn anything it touches into a bomb that leaves no trace on full contact. This is the perfect foil in the murder mystery plot that Part 4 hosts. Killer Queen. With 2 equally powerful side abilities, such as Sheer Heart Attack and Bites the Dust, you're next to unstoppable, and a force to be reckoned with in the series. This stand, and Kira himself, are some of the most iconic parts of JoJo as a whole. And this character actually helps stray away from the otherworldly beings taking the main antagonist spotlight, like Dio or Cars. And it gives it to an average citizen that just so happens to murder people on the side when he's not at work. Literally me, Bateman energy. Now we enter Vento Aureo, the 5th part in the series. Truth be told, this part will have the highest number of my favorites out of the whole series, so instead of going in-depth like I have been with everybody else, this is the lightning round!
I was on cloud 9. I wanted more JoJo's, and I really fucking hate Part 5. And I feel like I'm in an alternate dimension because back in my day, everybody I knew hated Part 5 because it's garbage. It's one of the messiest shonen storylines I've ever read. And some people say, oh, you probably just read bad translations. Bitch, I went through it again to see if I was just imagining how bad it is. No, Part 4 is still good with bad translations, so this is not an excuse. Part 5 has everything that I hated in previous JoJo's parts, but amped up to 11. The characters are whack. Calm cool guy, calm cool guy, calm cool guy. Funny cowards. Giorno is a joke. He's the worst JoJo by far. Even people who like Part 5 agree with me.
Shut.
Gold Experience reminds me of a skinny Iron Man in terms of design, and its power to create life out of inanimate objects, as well as manipulate living beings, is pretty kick-ass. Sticky Fingers and Bucciarati are perfect representatives of each other in designs and personality. Creating zippers out of nothing creates plenty of creative utilizations of this stand, ranging from quick escape routes to literally disarming opponents, and launching your own limbs further by severing it with a zipper. The list goes on. Moody Blues is the perfect fact-checking stand, and it fits a Bakio to a T as a former cop. There isn't too much to say about this stand that can't be summarized under this one sentence. Let's check what actually happened here. However, the simplicity of its ability, sleek design, and sound profiles featured in the anime make this a top favorite of mine. Tell me you don't love the sound profiles of Moody Blues. If you tell me that shit, you're lying! Sex Pistols is a little bit trickier to talk about. I love the stand, and I love the ability. However, I can't help but feel exhausted when discussing it. That just might be because I can't handle high-energy individuals like the Pistols, but I can't hate on them. They're an integral part to Mista's character and to the cast of Part 5. They get the gang out of a lot of shit. Not to mention the paranoia of Mista with the number 4 lining up and creating kind of a situation with the pistols is funny. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I think that's fucking amazing. Purple Haze can kill you in seconds by simply breathing in the smoke that leaves its body. Not to mention the insane nature of the stand manifesting the true rage and hatred that is Fugo. He can't fully control it, but he can at very least aim it somewhere. It's also got a case of OCD, which is a nice little quirk to the stand. Beach Boy is a fishing rod that ignores the laws of physics and gravity on a few occasions to hunt enemies down. That's pretty much it. I just think it's neat. White Album is crazy. And a Weezer reference, something I only realized recently. A suit made to help you traverse through ice that you yourself create and is near impenetrable. And the ice you make creates flash freezes on objects and living beings? Yeah. I love the cold. I love winter. This is my jam. Not my Pearl Jam, just my regular jam. Last one for the lightning round goes to Metallica. Only seen inside Blood as small little metal people. These guys can take the metal and irons from literally anything, like Magneto from the X-Men, and turn them into knives and other weapons just to launch directly at you. Such as creating a pair of scissors in your neck. Yeah. I don't mean to be corny, but that's pretty metal. Metallica can also latch onto the user and reflect light, causing the user to be completely invisible, or rather, I should say, near invisible. I love this stand, and it's the only thing in my arsenal that can beat Wally's bullshit bow in All-Star Battle R. Bow, you have no reason being that— Shut. Now we discuss Stone Ocean. This might not be a surprise to anybody here, but there are only 2 stands I actually care about from Part 6, and they belong to my 2 favorite characters. If you've seen the thumbnail of this video, you already know one of them. And that's the one I'll cover first. Weather Report. Weather powers in any media can range from simply harmless to complex and dangerous. The design of this stand is the perfect embodiment of the physical manifestation of what I believe weather would look like. The stand has a great degree of self-preservation, saving Wes from suicide on several occasions. So, how exactly does he control this thing then? Well, he manipulates the atmosphere himself. He can use this stand to create any natural and unnatural weather event in any location, such as, oh, I don't know, raining poison frogs over a prison, or shining a single ray of sunshine on an old man in the middle of a rainstorm. Weather Report's kind of got limitless potential here. There's plenty more that Weather Report can actually do, such as heavy weather, humidity/cloud manipulation, and air/wind manipulation. Covering all of this would change this video from a favorites list into a full-depth analysis on the stand itself. And as much as I love this stand, I don't want that to hijack this video. And we're almost done here. We got one more left. So I think we should just move on and talk about Diver Down. A stand designed to look like a modified deep-sea diver with several letter Ds on its body. Diver Down can decapitate someone with a single chop. It can store the impact of strikes on any surface, phase into somebody's body, causing damage all over to transfer to Diver Down instead, protecting the individual from harm. Diver Down can also become part of a person it's inside and replace their lost limbs. The most important ability in his kit, however, is Restructure. Now, imagine if you will. Your internal organs are normal, and then one day, Diver Down enters your body. Suddenly, you now have a gross, fleshy merry-go-round in your torso. Diver Down can make that a reality. And that is a scary thing to have in your back pocket. Alright, we've reached the end of my list. As you guys may have noticed, a lot of my favorites are stands I'd either want to have myself or would never want to see in a million years against me. Some of them, like I mentioned briefly, just look kick-ass and only have specific usage in day-to-day life, such as Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's amazing. I'm curious to see what you guys like more than I do. I'm curious to see what stands you guys like the most. Did you agree with my favorites? Are there any stands in Part 7 or 8 that you really wish I included here? Are there stands in Part 9 that you really like that they haven't really gone into too much detail with yet? Do you just like how it looks? Do you like the powers or the concept? Please let me know in the comments below. Regarding the next planned video, I will share my thoughts on the JoJo lands. I understand the 6th chapter, I think, has released now, and I have yet to read it, so I'll have to catch up on everything JoJo lands before I even write that script. Regarding our 100 sub special, that will be out just after the JoJo lands video. So, be tuned for that. It's coming. I will give you guys a little hint here about what it might be. And that is kind of a pseudo-new sub-series on this channel. Let's just say the importance of. That's all I'm giving you right now. Thank you guys very much. Have a great night, and thank you for watching.